Okay, so once again, it's another week in the football world with not a lot to talk about. So we'll talk about Tebow signing with the Jaguars as tight end, and then we'll go over the schedules of the two um, Super Bowl teams and predict game by game how they're going to do. Is there anything that you've seen that you want to add, or are you fine with those two topics?
I would say those two topics would be good, but I'd also like to talk a little bit about Aaron Rodgers and what we think is going to happen in the Aaron Rodgers situation.
Yeah, for sure. Um, okay, so let's just dive right in. We'll start with the good, the Tebow, and then we'll move on to the ugly, the Aaron Rodgers situation. Um, so Tebow time is coming back after almost a decade of not being in the NFL. Um, the Jaguars have decided to, realistically, they're going to be signing him at tight end, which is going to be crazy to see him back in. And it'll be more of nostalgia than them actually acquiring, an elite tight end. He might be good at tight end, but he hasn't played football in a very long time. So there's going to be some catching up to do. Um, and plus, if Trevor Lawrence ever goes down and the backup quarterback isn't just doing the job for the Jaguars, you always got Tim Tebow, who is an experienced starting quarterback in the NFL. So I think it'll be really cool to see Tebow back in action again.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Tim Tebow. They actually explored moving him over to tight end when he was first drafted, but that wasn't something that he was willing to make the transition. And now, with really no choice other than to consider that transition, he's decided to explore that option. I think he's a very talented individual with a lot of gifts, not only athletically but spiritually as well. So it'll be nice to see him
For sure.
in that locker room. And as any person with incredible athletic gifts, he's got great size, great athleticism. He's fast. All those really intangibles that you can't teach. So who knows? He might be a good weapon for Lawrence starting off, and he might be a good locker room guy to get that locker room all squared away and get that locker room in a position to be successful.
Yep, I agree. Um, have you seen the memes saying that Tebow's just going to try out every sport? Next, he's going to be in the NBA.
Yeah. Tim Tebow has definitely had his share of experiences in the sports world, so it'll be interesting to see if he tries anything else. Hopefully, he's able to stick with the Jaguars, though. I know that baseball experiment didn't go too well. He wasn't he wasn't too impressive there. But I mean, even just to play in the minor leagues and play against players that have spent their whole life perfecting the game of baseball is impressive as it is. So just gotta respect him for trying and respect him for doing okay. He obviously didn't do extraordinary, but he did okay. And that's tough to say if most people can't go off the street and start playing a sport for the first time in their life or the first time in a long time and do well. So I think that is a testament to his character and his work ethic. So hopefully he can bring those to his experiences with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Absolutely. I mean, Tebow at power forward would be cool to see, but it won't be happening anytime soon. Moving on to Aaron Rodgers. We've all seen what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers organization. They just made a post on Facebook yesterday bragging about adding more depth to the quarterback position. And that just has to be, another blow to the side of Aaron Rodgers. He's been asked to be released from this team. He's been having conflict with management. He's been having conflict since, Mike McCarthy days.
Right.
And we all thought that once Mike McCarthy was gone, the Aaron Rodgers situation would settle down. But it seems like Mike McCarthy wasn't the only problem in that situation. And so, I feel for Aaron Rodgers. When you're not respected where you're at, you want to move somewhere else. And they're not hearing him. They're not hearing his cries. They're just saying, we're not getting rid of you. Like, we own you. And that's what I hate about, sports leagues is that, on one hand, the players can mess up and sign this really big contract and just not play well afterwards or just not care anymore, get injured. But on the other hand, you also have these ownership that they act like they own these players, and they're like, you're going to fulfill your contract. We're not letting you out of this, and you're going to do what we say because we have it in writing. Um, but hopefully Aaron Rodgers gets out of this. I don't think that the Packers organization is going to keep an unhappy Rodgers. And as a Packers fan, I mean, not me, but Packers fans, I feel like even they would want to see Aaron Rodgers go, like how frustrated he is. Um, if you're a real fan, you're not going to want to see your quarterback going through what Aaron Rodgers is going through. You're going to want to see him happy. Like if Dak Prescott was frustrated with the Cowboys like this, and he just wasn't respected in the organization, it would suck to see him go. But like ultimately, I would respect his decision to want to leave.
Right. And I think there's been such a discrepancy in mindset. You keep hearing Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Packers, saying, Aaron Rodgers is our guy, he's our quarterback. Well, management is not dictating that and not representing that as the case to Aaron Rodgers. And so Aaron Rodgers feels very disrespected right now. Feels like they're not valuing the player that he is, and obviously we all know he's an exceptional player, and they're not getting him the help he needs to run a successful team. And it's this situation goes back multiple years. It's nothing new, but you just wonder, is this finally when Aaron Rodgers says enough is enough, and he's gonna get out of Green Bay finally? And as I think about potential destinations for him, I think really Denver would be a perfect place for him. I mean, we saw what happened with Peyton Manning when he ended his career in Denver and had that great defense and won a Super Bowl. I don't like the Denver Broncos by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that'd be a really good situation for him. He's got a ton of talent. He's got some decent weapons out there, and they have a good defense. So I think my early, I'm not going to say prediction because anything can change, but my early indication would be that the best fit for him would be Denver if he chooses to leave. But a lot of stuff up in the air in terms of his contract situation. He's still under contract. Will they let him go? Will he sit out? What's going to happen is just all up in the air, and no one really knows what's going to happen other than maybe Aaron Rodgers and the Packers management. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out through the rest of the offseason because it's been a major storyline so far.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you brought up Peyton Manning because I was thinking the exact same thing. It seems like a lot of quarterbacks end up in Denver to win a ring before they retire. And I feel like if Aaron Rodgers did go to Denver, he would pull the Peyton Manning. He would win one more ring, and he would just settle down. And I think that's what he deserves. He deserves another ring. He deserves to go out in peace. Like, he deserves to not have this stress on his plate. He's one of the greatest of all time. And, as a Cowboys fan, I'm supposed to hate him for everything he's put my team through. But I can never, hate this man. I respect him so much as one of the best I've ever seen play the game. And so I hope he gets what's best for him.
Right.
So we'll start with the Buccaneers and go over game-by-game basis and determine the outcome. So their opening night is against the Cowboys. As a Cowboys fan, I want to say the Cowboys are going to win this one, but I know that's not realistic. The Cowboys are going to be coming into this against the Super Bowl champions. I feel like the Cowboys are going to be a good team this year, but they're not going to be ready for the Buccaneers in the opening game. And for that reason, I think the Buccaneers are going to take it.
Yep, I agree. I think the Buccaneers are going to take it. I don't think the Cowboys are ready for that smoke week one. So.
Okay, moving on to week two, the Buccaneers play the Falcons in Tampa. That's for sure going to go to the Buccaneers. The Falcons aren't going to be a bad team this year, and division rivals will always play tougher, but this is not going to be the game that the Falcons win.
Yeah, it's an easy win for the Buccaneers.
Yep. Week three, the Buccaneers play the Rams in LA. This one's going to kind of be a little tougher. The Rams have built a little bit in the offseason. It's going to be week three. Teams are going to start getting settled in. The Rams in LA, I feel like, is a good team. They might actually have this one to beat the Bucks. As I'm scrolling, I don't see any team on here that's capable of beating the Bucks more than the Rams are, because I would say the Saints when they had Drew Brees, but at this point I don't think the Saints could take the Bucks. So I'm gonna give this one to the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well. I think the Rams are going to be a really good team this year. And playing at home at SoFi Stadium, they're going to want to get that Week 3 win for their fans.
Absolutely. Week 4, Tom Brady goes back to New England to take on his former team. And his former team is not the team that it was when he left. In fact, they're a shell of what they used to be. And for that reason, I think the Buccaneers will easily have this one.
Agreed. Yeah, Buccaneers are taking that one.
And Week 5, the Buccaneers play the Dolphins in Tampa Bay. If this was in Miami, I would say the Dolphins have a chance. Not a win, but a chance. But since this is in Tampa, I think it's going to go to the Bucs.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to the Bucs as well. The Dolphins are a vastly improved team and getting better every single year.
Yep. What is that? Did I say 5? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, week
5,
6
week
now.
6. The Buccaneers were playing the Eagles in Philadelphia. This one isn't even a conversation. It's going to the Bucs.
Yeah.
Week 7, Bears at Bucs. It's going to the Bucs for sure.
Yeah. The Bucs are going to win that one as well.
Week 8, the Buccaneers are in New Orleans. This one, we don't know how the Saints are going to be without Drew Brees. Honestly, it could go either way because they have Jameis Winston. They have, who's number 7? What's his name? Taysom Hill. They have Alvin Kamara. They still have a pretty good defense, but it's not going to be the Saints team of Drew Brees. For this one, since this is the Buccaneers' only other potential threatening target, actually the Colts are coming up soon too, but for now, I'd say let's give this one to the Saints just until like the season actually starts and we see how the Saints are playing. But because this one's in New Orleans, like I said, rivalries are always played tougher. I think the Saints might actually have the energy to come away with this W.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one to the Saints as well. They're going to be motivated to prove people wrong, that their team success was dictated by Drew Brees, and they're going to take this one. I think Jameis Winston's going to do a fairly good job. Ultimately, they're not going to go that far in the playoffs, but I think they will be a playoff team next year. I just think, one of those big wins for them is going to be against the Buccaneers in New Orleans.
Absolutely. Next week, Buccaneers at Washington. Another easy one, way too easy. It's going to the Bucs.
Yep.
And then the Giants visit the Buccaneers in Tampa. Once again, going to the Bucs.
Oh man.
I'm taking that as you agreeing.
Yeah. That's me agreeing. I just can't believe how weak their schedule is.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's like it's pathetic how actually
schedule.
These next 3 games are going to be interesting to call. The Bucs will be visiting the Colts in Indianapolis. Like we were talking about previously, the Colts are a really good team right now. They might actually be a threat to the Buccaneers. This game is definitely going to be back and forth. It's going to be a tough one. But I think the Colts being in Indy, I think they might take this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts in that one too. Yeah, I think the Colts are going to be a really good team this next year.
All right. Next up is the Buccaneers in Atlanta. Once again, the Falcons are going to be a good team, but they're not going to be a team that's ready to beat the Buccaneers at all this season, I think. So once again, I think this is going to Tampa.
Yeah, the Falcons' defense still has more holes than the Titanic, so they're gonna sink to the bottom of that NFC South again.
I want to say sink to the bottom with the Panthers in that division, but after that, the Bills will be playing the Bucs in Tampa. I think this is going to be the first
that's a
home
good
loss.
game. That's a really good game, guys.
Yep, absolutely. But I think
really want to watch that one.
First home loss. And it's almost a Christmas game, December 12th. Oh,
I agree. That's a really good game. That's a really good game.
I'm excited for that one.
Tune in for that one, guys.
I'm going to call the Bills on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Next is the Saints in Tampa. Once again, Saints are going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat the
Tampa's going to win
Buccaneers
that
in
one.
Tampa. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Buccaneers in Carolina, too easy. Tampa.
Yeah, so I agree with that.
Buccaneers in New York against the Jets. Once again, Tampa.
Yep.
And then finally, the Panthers play the Bucs in Tampa, and we know who that one's going to. Tampa.
So I think we ended up with what, 12-4?
Let's see. I
I think
said
that was 12-4.
Rams win, so that's 1 loss. Saints win, that's 2 losses. Colts win, 3 losses. Bills win, 4 losses. So that would be 13
Yeah,
and 4.
12-4. Oh, I forgot there's 17 games in the season
Yes,
now.
sir.
Shoot.
And that's not a
It's going
bad.
to take some time to get used to.
That's not a bad record at all for the reigning Super Bowl champs.
No, that's a solid record.
So moving on to the other Super Bowl appearance, the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think they're going to be going 13 and 4, but I also don't think that they're going to be a team to scoff at. Once again, the Chiefs are still the team that they were, and they've improved that line, which was definitely a weakness. It's not showing me the cutoff between preseason and regular season. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
No worries.
Having some technical difficulties here. User error. Okay, so is that preseason or regular season? Here we go. So the week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs will be against the. Let me make sure I'm still in 2021. Cool. It will be against the Browns and Kansas City. The Browns are a really good team, but I don't think they're a good enough team to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead this season. So I'm going to give that one to the Chiefs.
I'm going to go the Chiefs as well. I think, as you touched on, the Browns are a really good team, but I don't think they're quite ready to take on the Chiefs in Arrowhead, come out victorious.
For sure. The Chiefs will be playing the Ravens week 2 in Baltimore. That is a Baltimore home game, and Lamar Jackson is a monster, but I still don't think he has it in him to beat the Chiefs. At this point, it's going to be a close game because these two teams always battle it out. The Chiefs usually will go down in games like this and then come back from like a 10 or 15 point deficit, and I think that's going to be the case again in this one.
Yeah, that game's kind of a toss-up. You can go either way with it. I think I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. I think he's got so much to prove this next year. Now everyone's wondering, is he a winning quarterback? I think they've had really good teams around him, and he hasn't been able to take care of business in the playoffs. So I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. A lot of stuff to prove, and I think he starts with beating the Chiefs in Baltimore.
I mean, that's valid. Like you said, this game's going to be a toss-up. It could go either way. There's really no wrong call on this one.
Absolutely.
Week 3, they play the Chargers and Arrowhead. Once again, that's for sure going to go to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Not to say the Chargers are a bad team, because they're a pretty decent team at this point, but mediocrity
Chiefs, yeah.
will not beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
That's right.
Week 4, they play the Eagles in Philadelphia. Too easy. That's going to the Chiefs.
Yep.
Why do these Super Bowl winning teams get the best schedules? Like, what?
I know.
Week 5, they play the Bills in Arrowhead. I'm going to have to give this one to the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bills are really on the come up, and they're going to take this one. There's some good games this year, man. There's
For
some
sure.
really good games they have on the schedule. Jeez.
Week 6, they're in Washington. Too easy, Chiefs.
Yep.
Week 7 in Tennessee. This is going to be another game where I feel like the Chiefs are going to go down at the start of it, but Mahomes is going to make one of those comebacks and win it.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win that game. The Titans are a really good team too, but they just don't have the depth and the all-around talent that the Chiefs do.
Right. Week 8, they'll be playing the Giants in Arrowhead. Too easy. Chiefs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this next game, Week 9, Packers in Arrowhead. If they don't have Aaron Rodgers, which they most likely will not, they will lose this game. I mean, the Packers will lose this game. But if the Packers have
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, and somehow things work out magically and everything's all, rainbows and ponies, Aaron Rodgers is going to take this W.
I'm going to give this one to the Chiefs regardless, actually, because I think even if Aaron Rodgers does come back, I think they're still going to have some locker room issues.
For sure. This next one's going to be interesting because the Raiders are on the come up, and they're a division rival, and they'll be playing in their new home in Las Vegas. I don't think the Raiders are going to take it, but I definitely feel like they have the potential to take it. I'll give this one to the Chiefs, but I'm not going to be surprised if the Raiders come back and win this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give this to the Chiefs as well. I don't think the Raiders, they've been irrelevant for a long time now, and I don't expect that to change. Sorry, Raiders fans, but I'm not going to mince my words here and give you guys unnecessary hope. Like, it seems like you guys feel like you're going to win every single year, and the Chiefs have been stomping on your face lately, so expect that to continue.
Week 11, this one hits a little close to home. They will be playing the Cowboys in Arrowhead. The last time the Cowboys and Chiefs matched up, Alex Smith had got the better of Dallas. But I think the Cowboys are going to be on a roll at this point. Week 11, they're going to have something to prove. I think I'm going to have to give this one to the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I felt like you were going to say that, but it is what it is.
That's right. We're not going to agree on everything, but there's logic to both sides. If one of us is illogical, though, we can call the other one out for being illogical. So,
Week 12 is a bye week. Week 13, they'll be playing the Broncos at Arrowhead. If they have Aaron Rodgers, I think the Broncos are taking this one. Like I said, it's a rival game. And Aaron Rodgers has played Patrick Mahomes a few times and gotten the better of him. Mahomes has got the better of Rodgers a couple times. But I think this one would go to Aaron Rodgers if he's a Bronco. If not, this is for sure going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Chiefs. I think regardless, the Chiefs have a better team than the Broncos, even with Aaron Rodgers. But it would obviously be a lot closer if they got Aaron Rodgers. But right now, that quarterback room is very weak.
Right.
They have a lot of quarterbacks, but none are good.
Which has been the case with the Broncos since Peyton Manning's departure.
For a long time. Yep.
Week 14, they'll be playing the Raiders in Arrowhead. That's for sure going to the Chiefs.
To the Chiefs as well. Yep.
Week 15, they're playing the Chargers in LA. This one, I think the Chiefs are going to have a good enough record that they're not going to be, playing their hardest. The Chargers, usually late in the season, the Chargers make these really weird victories against teams they shouldn't be beating. And this is a rivalry game, and it will be in LA. So I might have to give this one to the Chargers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the Chargers with this one, too. I think the Chargers are going to be much better, obviously, and I think they're going to take this home game later in the season.
Right. Week 16, this one hits a little close to you. It's the Steelers. The Steelers are going to be an interesting team this year. They're either going to be one of the best teams in the league or they're going to be one of the worst. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground for them. But because of what we've seen last year and solely because of that, I'm going to have to give this one to the Chiefs.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough one for me because the Steelers, like Jimmy said, they're either going to be really, really good this next year and, finish off Big Ben's career on a high note, or they're going to be really bad and Big Ben is going to be done and they'll have to find a heir apparent to Big Ben. And it likely won't be Dwayne Haskins, but who really knows?
No, it'll be Mason Rudolph.
Definitely not Mason Rudolph. He already got his head bashed in by
Myles Garrett.
But, I think I'm going to give this to the Chiefs. The Steelers have a really tough last 4 games of the season. They play the Browns, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. So they have a really tough last 4-game stretch. So I think the Steelers are going to be a little beat up and they're going to lose. Is this a home game for the Steelers or are they in Arrowhead?
They're in Arrowhead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm giving it to the Chiefs too.
Yeah. Week 17, they play the Bengals in Cincinnati. Too easy, Chiefs.
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
final one, Week 18, they'll be in Denver. I feel like at this point the Chiefs will definitely be resting their starters. They'll have a high seed heading into the playoffs. And even without Aaron Rodgers, I think the Broncos could take the Chiefs at this point because it's going to be a throwaway game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Chiefs are going to be resting by this time of the year and rest a lot of starters, so the Broncos will take that one.
Okay, so let's add up what we got so far. We got different ones on this time, actually. So that's I said they beat the Ravens.
I think I ended up with 12 and 5 or 13 and 4.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I said 5 losses. So you probably said one less than that. I think you had less losses.
Yeah,
than
I think I had 13 and 4.
So yeah, I got 12 and 5. You got 13 and 4. So you have them with the same record that you predicted for the Bucs. I have them with one less win. Both of those sound about right for the Chiefs. So it could honestly go either way, but these are just early predictions.
Yeah, these teams both have a lot of talent. They pretty much got everybody back, so expect both these teams to be in the hunt for another Super Bowl.
For sure.
So as we go down the stretch, there obviously will be surprise teams and teams that are really good as well, but with the Chiefs and the Bucs is a good degree of certainty that they're going to advance deep into the playoffs. But again, it's the NFL, so you just never know. It's really hard to return to the Super Bowl after being there in the year prior, and especially even harder to repeat because what happens is, and this happens all the time in sports, is that first Super Bowl that a team wins, they're all playing for the team, and so there's a lot more camaraderie, a lot more team chemistry that's going on. Oftentimes what happens, and this is a warning to not just football but all sports teams, is to remain unselfish and still play for the team after winning that first Super Bowl, because what happens is a lot of times in that second year, everyone starts playing for themselves, and they're not able to put together the run they did the year prior. So it'll be interesting to see how Tampa responds to that challenge, and the Chiefs as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely. We're hitting the 28-minute mark. I just want to throw out there one more thing. We did start the Fantasy Football League. We have 4 out of 12 slots filled, which means we have 8 more slots for the fans to pick up. If you guys want to jump in on that, the link is posted twice on the page. Anything else you want to add, Jake?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to have you guys. We love playing fantasy. It's really fun, and we love beating people in fantasy. So get ready to roll. Bring your A game or don't come at all.
Yes, sir. I like that. Bring your A game or don't come at all. That's probably why we only got 4 out of 12 slots filled. They're not ready for it, Jake.
They ain't ready. They can't handle it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Jimmy.